Hey guys, Jal with JRSP, Johnson Reality Self Protection. I saw in the comments some people were saying some things, and I'm not always going to respond to comments. Thank you for the people who left positive comments. There was some a dude like left a comment where he's like, "Oh, you got a white guy trying to break into your house." That was like, that was funny. But some people were leaving comments on the last video that I was where I talked about the best knife for self protection in my personal opinion. And like there was these like it was like one or two people. I didn't really like. I just saw it at a glance in the notification, but they were talking about like finger rings. Like they're like, oh, I prefer a finger ring, and that's a good topic. So I'm gonna respond to it. Um, I don't like hate finger rings and I don't love finger rings. Okay, to me, if the knife is designed real nice and it has a finger ring, well then great. You know that like I'm not gonna be opposed to acquiring that knife with a finger ring. I own some knives with finger rings, but at the same time, I guess you could say finger rings have as many cons as they do pros. Like I'll go as far to say that. And in my opinion, like I have like the Saw Gambit, for instance. I don't have it with me. It's at my other house that I moved from that I still have to go get. But I like the Saw Gambit. A lot of people didn't like the Saw Gambit because of the fact that it's like it kind of resembles a karambit, but like a lot of people didn't feel that it was like too karambity, I guess you could say. They felt like in reverse grip, it didn't feel right, and I think that's because it's a knife that's designed to be used in forward grip. Um, the whole design of the knife kind of like leans toward that, but it has a finger ring, but the handle's long enough where you can pull that knife out without even using the finger ring. You could use a knife without even ever putting your finger in the finger ring. But a lot of knives that have a finger ring, they're designed where that has to be like what you got to do. You got to freaking you, you you wouldn't be able to get your whole hand on the knife if you didn't have one finger through the finger ring. You get what I'm saying? Like, so you absolutely have to go for that. And somebody mentioned in the comments, which was good mention, in a life and death situation, only freaking seconds, seconds count. And people may think, well, it doesn't take that much to get that knife out with the finger ring. It doesn't take that much to loop your finger through the finger ring, But I mean, in a life and death situation, that may be all it took to delay you getting your weapon out into the fray and then getting killed, because under like high stress, under like when all that adrenaline's hitting you in the moment and stuff like that, it's just like you're fumbling trying to get the knife and you can't get it because that finger ring is in the way. Now I'm not saying that's how it's always going to be or whatever, or that's how it's going to be at all. I mean, maybe you could draw the knife flawlessly with the finger ring every single time. That's not the point. The point is that it does have that factor. And also, finger rings create something where, like, and we say finger rings, it's a retention ring, okay? A retention ring creates a problem where, like, if you're fighting over the knife, somebody could grab the knife and they could twist that just right, just like if you had a gun and you had your finger through the trigger ring of the gun, like in Krav Maga, some Krav Magas, it's like a technique, a disarm is to like basically break the finger, and so you could also look at that as something as well. You could get your finger broke. Just playing around with my wife, if we had the Kelly Warden travel wrenches and stuff like that, if she's trying to pry out of my hand, she would twist that thing against like my finger, and it caused extreme pain. And the Kelly Warden travel wrench has a retention ring, but like I said, I'm not opposed to tension rings. I like carrying the Kelly Warden travel wrench, and I like, of course, the FCP from Fab Defense. It's got a retention ring. I'm not opposed to tension rings and things with tension rings or retention rings. But for y'all to say that either one of these knives, would be better with a retention ring, it's all about design. Like if these knives were designed to be suited with a retention ring, then yeah. But these knives weren't designed for a retention ring. And like somebody saying, oh, this knife has the perfect handle. I'm a big dude. Okay, I'm 6'2", like 280 plus pounds. Okay, big dude, big hands. Okay, and as you can see, like my hands fit this handle like all the way down, and there's no like discomfort or anything. And the way this knife was designed, it doesn't need a finger ring. Every knife doesn't need a finger ring or a retention ring. Okay, so I mean, this knife is perfect the way it is without a retention ring. Adding a retention ring would make this knife not perfect. And just the way the knife is designed, I mean, I know we have the K, but there's that one K bar knife. I think I did a review on it. Like, it's a TDI knife. It is not a good K bar TDI. Like, I have two of these. I have one of the whatever it is, the secret agent, the one that's this same blade shape but a little bit smaller. It has a smaller handle. Don't really prefer it. But then I had the extra large version, which was probably actually like this. These are great. Somebody in the comments mentioned, these, and I've already done, I think 2 reviews about the K-Bar TDI. You're not going to tell me anything about the K-Bar TDI knives. I've loved these knives for years. Okay, until the Takumi Talk Muted came out, which somebody asked in the comments, what was the brand of this knife? There's only videos, and I've only said it in the video, okay, like over and over and over again, and I have videos on this knife on the channel. I mean, it's the Takumi Talk Muted. Like, I'm not gonna get into answering like questions and stuff in the comment sections and stuff, because then you fall into the void of that. But it's a Takumi Talk Muted. Like, I mean, how many times I have to say it? I'm not trying to be rude, but I have videos on it, and I mentioned it in the video I think that you were commenting on. So I mean, I guess that tells me that you didn't watch the whole video or something. It's like, it's the Takumi Talk Muted. Takumi Talk Muted. Okay. um like, but this knife right here like beats this knife in design. Okay, this knife is great. I carried these for years. Okay, like, this was my go-to like self-defense or self-protection knife for a long time, because this was made for retention, but it was made for firearm retention. Okay, like, this was made with law enforcement in mind, and I doubt any law enforcement really carry these because it's a liability. But what it was made for was, like, if you're in a struggle, life in a struggle, somebody's trying to take your sidearm, you could have your, what they call it, the retention knife, so you can put holes in the guy trying to take your sidearm. And it's not really to, like, maybe end the fight or kill the person. If you could, like, if it does, well then good. But what it was for is to start, like, poking the guy, so then he lets go, giving you enough time to pull your firearm. So that's what this knife is for. But I noticed, I mean, my hands fit on it, but right here in the choil, or whatever you want to call that, uh like, it's uncomfortable on that finger. It digs in to my index finger right there. So it caused me to have to kind of, like, if I try to hold it like this right here, it's just straight digging into my finger. So I had to kind of hold it like this, and but I don't have that problem with the Takumi Talk Muted. Like, this knife just has a better design to it. Like, it's bigger. It's similar in design, but it's just a better design. And definitely like this better than this, but I definitely still love these. And the fact that I carried them, and they're so easy to carry in the pocket. With the Takumi Talk Muted, I'm gonna just leash this, like, because I'm gonna set it up to either carry net carry, or if I don't carry my knives net carry, I don't always carry them around the neck. Net carry is my favorite carry method, but sometimes I like to wear my chain, and then it'll be getting all caught up in the chain and stuff like that. I learned this methodology from watching a TKL knives video, where I'm gonna put it down in the belt loop right here. Y'all can see that right here. Put that in the belt loop. I'm gonna leash that right there. Then it's gonna go in the pocket. And then when I go draw that, these Wrangler pants I like to wear also have this nice secondary kind of watch pocket, I guess you'd say. So it's just sitting right there ready to go. When I go to draw that, it's gonna be in reverse already. So then I can just go ahead, and I'm not the biggest fan of reverse grip, but I train reverse and forward. And when I'm carrying like this, it's absolutely going to be coming out in reverse. So, I mean, because that's just the best way. So, I mean, it's good that I train forward and reverse. But, I mean, this knife is menacing in reverse grip. And that's why this has become my number one, and, in my opinion, the best knife for self-protection for me currently. But, that's always subject to change as well. But, speaking about retention rings and knives with retention rings and knives with good designs, and speaking about TKL knives, TKL makes a knife that I would love to have, okay, with the purple handle scales, and it's their reverse Tanto, okay, and it's got a retention ring. If you like retention rings, a lot of TKL knives has retention rings, and if I was gonna pay $100 plus to $200 on a knife, I'm gonna go with TKL, okay, because I've never owned a TKL knife before, so TKL has never sent me anything, and I've never even actually put my hands or been in a live instance where I was hands-on with a TKL knife. I could just see it from the website and from other people's videos that, dude, this reverse Tanto is the knife that I would love. That would be my, like, dream knife, basically. But it's, like I say, it's a $100+ and I can't remember right off the top of my head how much. I think I did a video where the price was in there, like, but yeah, that would be my dream knife. But that I would like to get two, So then these would just be heirlooms. They wouldn't be like things that I carry on a daily because they're that expensive, you know. But they'd be like heirlooms that I'll just give to my kids because these knives are built to last forever. Almost like this company TKL, they make some of the what I would consider some of the best knives. If I'm gonna like throw my freaking hat out there and be like, oh yeah, you know who's the best, you know, like if you're looking for like just an overbuilt good knife, okay, I would say TKL knives, and I would say you can find anything that you're looking for there. And in my personal opinion, like what I'm looking for and what I'm looking at is the reverse Tanto that they have, but that has a retention ring. Like, and I have no problem with it. I think that it looks great on that knife, and I think it works great with that knife. But like I say, retention rings, like it just depends on the design of the knife. You know, I don't think that this knife, maybe this knife would be good. I think Takumi Talk has a couple knives with retention rings that are like I think they have a karambit style knife, and then I think they have a kind of like a dagger style knife. I think it's a little bit bigger than this, and it may have serrations or something or whatever, or I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, I'm pretty sure that one of their dagger style knives, the dual edge, has a retention ring on it. So maybe I'll get that knife and do a review on it, because I definitely want to get more Takumi Talk knives, because I definitely love Takumi Talk. But yeah, guys, that's the video right there, and as you can see, like that's the second way that I carry when I have the knife leashed up here. And that's how I'm going to carry it today, because I'm not wearing a overshirt, and that's typically how I'm going to carry if I'm not wearing an overshirt and I'm wearing a chain. Okay, like I'm going to still carry my knife, but now it's going to be a reverse grip style situation where I can pull it up and, you know, it's leashed to the belt loop. You could also put a carabiner clip where, so you don't have to wrap it through the belt loop. You can just wrap it onto the carabiner and then snap that to your belt loop as well. So hopefully that you know, like sums that up. And my opinion on, you know, retention rings and whatnot is like, I don't love them, I don't hate them. I have knives with them, I have knives without them, and to me it's not about the retention ring or well, the absence of the retention ring or the fact that there is a retention ring. And what it's about is the design of the knife. Is the knife is the knife design good without a retention ring? And in most cases, most knife designs could get away without a retention ring. So yeah, hey guys, this is another episode of JRSP, Johnson Reality Self Protection. Always remember that the world's a big place, all danger is very real, and you know, whenever you can, it's better just to walk away. And they call me paranoid, but I would rather be paranoid and alive than complacent and dead. And I'm not, I'm not paranoid. I'm paranoid. You guys take it easy.